Okay guys, so I just been cooking these vegetables in some high heat in coconut oil. You can't see it real well, but I've been letting just a little bit of a brown crust form on the bottom of my pan that is going to end up kind of like ending up as part of my soup broth. Some people roast their veggies, but I just do it all in a pan. And anyways, I was just over here remembering that, you guys, you can plant these things. So when you're using up a bunch of this stuff, do I have steam on my camera still? But you can plant these things. So I actually was not able to buy organic carrots, which I really, 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 really hate using non-organic root vegetables, guys. I really dislike it. Okay, so I usually don't even peel my organic stuff. I'll just scrub the outsides and keep the peel on and everything because a lot of the nutrients are in the peel. But since these are not organic, I peeled them and everything. But you can save all these little ends. Now my first parsnip I cut real thin, and I don't know if this one's going to work, but you can plant these things. Okay, and then oftentimes the result ends up a little bit weird and maybe a little bit deformed, but it'll resprout. So like I'm not ready to use all of my celery yet, but I went ahead and cut off the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and plant this too. Okay, so all sorts of different things like that, green onions, stuff like that. You can replant the bottoms and get more food out of it without starting it from seed. So I just wanted to post about that, but I'm going to be ready to throw in my chicken broth with my deboned chicken in a little bit and just keep it rolling. And then some things I will be throwing in some more carrots and onions and things so that I have like different level of like textures and stuff in there. And then cooking my my noodles up in this pot of soup. And then I have to really take a look at it and see how much water I'm going to have to add to the broth. And I might end up getting my canner out later, but we'll see. Anyways. Well, I was going to end this video, but I was just thinking, because I bought a bunch of whole chickens on sale, which are great for making things like chicken soup with. And if you don't want to use noodles, because again, commercial products, the flour is going to be brominated. So I want to get to a point where I am making all of my noodles from scratch with unbrominated flour, but I just haven't quite gotten there yet. Any consumable or metal product is a really difficult thing for me to order online because of my circumstances. So we'll see how I end up feeling about ordering some noodle makers. But I want to be making my own homemade ramen and stuff. But I could have used like rice in my chicken soup to get like some calories in there. But if you guys actually look at like the canned soup in the grocery store, it takes like 2 of those to get enough calories for like an actual meal for somebody who is actually going outside and like doing any sort of physical work or anything like that. It takes like 2 of those to be a meal if you're somebody who's actually working and not just like sitting all day. So they used to be inexpensive, and everything's getting more expensive. So if you still want to be able to have some convenient meals, you can even have some homemade stuff, and getting all of the ingredients does cost some money, but then you can end up making tons of homemade soup to put up. That's going to be there for a quick meal later when you need it. So give it some thought, y'all. If you're living with your family and stuff, having days like a canning day where you're making just a huge pot of chicken noodle soup or something like that, or like me, I did my chicken one day and then let it cool down and deboned it and put it in the fridge, and then I am recontinuing it. So, sometimes doing these things and making a team effort can be a great way to get some nutrition. Now, since I don't spray pesticides in my yard, I can go out there, and if I felt like going down the hill in this weather, I could go pick some stinging nettles. The shoots aren't young anymore, but since it's a soup, I could still use stinging nettles in my soup and chop those up, and they're super, super nutritious. Dandelion leaves, some of the lamb's quarter out there. I do not like lamb's quarter as just a sauteed green. Is not my favorite, but something like a soup, I could throw some of that in there. Now, all those purple flowers that you see over there are bee balm. Okay, and the leaves are a little bit spicy. I'm probably going to go, once I'm ready to actually brave the rain, I'm probably going to go pick some bee balm and some oregano and some different things to put in my soup a little bit later. But we'll see how it goes anyways.